So used EVs is definitely a talk of the town at the moment. And in particular, I'm actually with Martin here at EV Expert, and they actually sell used EVs. So to start off with, where did EV Expert start?
EV Experts came out of the fact that my wife and I tried to buy an EV in 2016. The market was really immature at that point. There was not a solid market for used EVs. What we did was we went back to first principles and decided, let's have a go ourselves. I've got a marketing background and I've worked in car marketing. I've also worked for Nokia, so I understand a bit about batteries, put the two together, hence EV Experts. What we offer consumers is a consultative process about finding the right EV that fits their lifestyle. So not everyone needs 300 miles of range. Not everyone needs a big car. Not everyone's got a massive budget. It's about finding what's right for you. That's why we've got the two stores, Hook in Hampshire and Guildford in Surrey.
So Martin, the first thing I want to ask you is, what's the EV market actually been like? Because at the moment, I think I read a newspaper article saying that used EVs, especially compared to their petrol or diesel equivalents, are actually cheaper. So what kind of customers are you actually getting?
Basically what happened was EVs more expensive than conventional cars, more expensive to produce. We then had COVID. COVID brought two problems. One, shortage of components, shortage of production. Following COVID, 21, 22, cars rose in value. Your £3,000 Volkswagen Golf of 10 years old was worth £5,000.
Yes.
It was a mad time. Our stock went up in value. We were selling cars at a premium to new. We were selling used cars for more. But what goes up comes down. And then production starts coming back. More and more players come into the marketplace. And there were some big cuts driven predominantly by Tesla, but others also followed the market. And that has meant that EV prices have come down. EV prices are decreasing. That's not because of the lack of demand. It's because there is plenty of supply and the balance is coming into plan. We're now in a situation where a new car is typically more expensive if it's an EV compared with petrol diesel. On used product, we're typically price parity. And on some cars, certainly on performance cars, the EV can be cheaper. So let me give you an example. If you look at a Polestar 2 Performance, 469 of brake horsepower of absolute fun. We've recently sold one at £38,000. The same, which was 5,000 miles, 2022 car. The same BMW 340i xDrive, which is a similar performance car, same age, same mileage, was £49,000.
Wow. Okay. So
the EV was significantly cheaper. Then you've got things like the Corsa at the other end of the market. They have come down and you're at about price parity. And it's very much, there has also been winners and losers in the EV market. There have been some products like the Nissan Leaf, because of its CHAdeMO charging, for example, that has dropped down in price considerably because customers are concerned about CHAdeMO.
Understandable.
But that means that if you look at the overall numbers, some of them are really big, but some cars are really finding a price point. And we're sitting in one now. This is a Jaguar I-Pace. Now, this car was ahead of its time when it came out. We took delivery of one of the first in August 2018, and it was one of the first in the country, and it was brilliant. It sold within hours. And this is a 2018 car. It's done 53,000 miles. It's a high-spec HSE with a pan roof and leather and all the toys. £19,500. That's a lot of car.
That is a lot of car for the money.
Now, you put the right warranty in place, and we do put a good warranty on this car, and it is a really great piece of kit. There's nothing that, it's a sports car, it's a luxury car, it's a great car. Is it a no-risk car? Absolutely not. Of course there is a risk, but you're getting a massive product at a great value. The used car market, and this is going to sound really obvious, is a function of the new car market.
Yes.
We don't make used cars. We buy cars that have been 1, 2, 3 years old. And because of the very successful salary sacrifice scheme, there are plenty of used cars coming off on the lease scheme.
Absolutely.
And that is great because rather than subsidizing them, the government has actually managed to increase the sales of new EVs, which is brilliant news for other people because most cars are sold 5 or 6 times in their life. So they have 5 or 6 different owners. So by having a healthy new market that feeds the used market at various price points, which means more and more consumers in Britain have the opportunity to own an EV. And if you look at the running costs, they can often be significantly cheaper as a used product than running a petrol or diesel car. Electric isn't for everyone, but if you go through the list of have I got charging at home? Now, around 60% of Brits have ability, whether it's a driveway, a garage, or a parking space that's close to home where they can charge.
Yes.
You then to say most people do not commute more than 100 miles each way a day, because that's a long commute. You're living in the wrong place and have the wrong job.
I mean, put it this way, I think the average is 30 miles a day.
Exactly.
And even for me, I did 80 miles a day. So
exactly. And so what you're finding is that the number of people that an EV is the right solution is growing all the time. Back in 2017, we were probably 10% of the used car market there was an EV for. We had a choice of, do you want a Zoe, do you want an i3, do you want a Leaf, do you want a Tesla? I mean, there was not a lot of choice.
Yeah.
Now we've got 22 different brands in stock, not just models, brands in stock. You know, I'm looking across. I've got a Peugeot E 2008, £14,500. A really nice, stylish car. That's a family car. If you had a choice of that or a Nissan Juke or a Nissan Qashqai, it's a really stylish option. And so that's a good example of where there's value in the marketplace. And we have seen EV prices on the wholesale are creeping back up a touch. We are seeing retail prices. We are as often repricing our cars up at the end of the week as we are down. And there's really is strong consumer demand. The market is healthy. That is mainly due to the prices coming down, but also the political environment. All of those anti-EV stories, not all of them, but a lot of them have evaporated. If you read the Labour manifesto, the talk about bringing back 2030, supporting the industry. If we have the fuel escalator, petrol and diesels tax going up in October, and I'm not a betting man, but I would reckon that's going to come back in. All of those things together mean that the future for EVs and therefore the values of EVs is looking really good.
Well, I think that's very encouraging news. And in fact, actually, I think you've probably sold me a car. The one car that actually they have is that absolutely beautiful blue VW up. And how much was that one? Do you know?
That one's £14,000. It's the thing about the E-Ups. Everyone goes on about efficiency. However hard you drive that, it'll never do less than 5 miles per kilowatt hour because it's so light. It's what EVs should be, light and efficient, not the Jaguar's many things, but it ain't efficient.
Absolutely. And you know what, talking about that, my friend, as I said, Paul Carnell, he managed to get, I think, 6.5 miles per kilowatt hour down.
Absolutely. The other thing about it is it's not too powerful and it's a really low insurance group because unfortunately some of the insurance premiums, some of the bigger ones, they're just too quick. They're just too fast. So actually, having little cars like that, they're great.
Final thoughts. I know that you obviously mentioned that you have 2 dealerships, but just for everyone, just as a reminder, where are your dealerships?
We have Guildford in Surrey and Hook in Hampshire. Best place to go is evexperts.co.uk. Follow us on social. We're really proud of having a really diverse range of used electric cars. And anyone's welcome to come and have a look at everything.
And you know what? If I'm down here again, you might actually see me.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Martin.
Cheers. Bye.